So the question today we're going to answer is, can I change out this cheap plastic RV faucet that is currently leaking with a residential style metal faucet? And the answer is going to be yes, and I'm going to show you how. All right, so we don't want to overcomplicate this. This is one of the cheap plastic faucets from a modern RV. Happens to have a single hole. Faucets also have 3-hole patterns. Just make sure you're measuring your hole placement and you're buying an appropriate size faucet. In our case here, we bought this guy on Amazon, paid for with our own money. We'll leave a link below if you guys are interested in doing a similar version, but it's a single hole, just like the one we're replacing. And it had great reviews, under 30 bucks, so you can't beat that. Your first step that you're going to want to do is obviously turn off the water to the RV. Go outside at the faucet, turn off the main. Second step is relieve the pressure to the RV. Open your low water drains, turn off your water heater. Make sure the water heater is not constantly running because you're going to blow your elements. So that's what we did first. Next step is let's get the old one out. So I always like to use a towel. Put this down before you open your water lines. You're still going to have water drip out, and with these cheap cabinets, any water on them is going to make them swell. So put this down first, catch any loose water. So I'm lucky because we have a hatch here on the back of our sink and I can get full access. Here we have our hot line, our cold line, and this here is your spray hose. First thing we want to do is take this weight off, and it's just a couple screws, that way it fits through the hole. So with these single hole faucets, they generally have 2 screws here holding a plate, and that just holds this in place before you can screw it off. So you're going to want to loosen those screws. Just like that. So once you've relieved the pressure, you can just go ahead and spin this down. Your next step here is going to be disconnecting the water lines. You can use some channel locks, or a lot of times these are just hand tight. Just like that. And if you get any drips, that's what the towel's for. Next, separate your spray hose, and that's generally going to just be a pull back here. Just like that. Pull that back and pull it apart. So now everything is loose, and you can finish unscrewing this plate. All right, so when it's all loose, you can just slide the plate down over all your pipes. There you go. Now the whole faucet will just lift up out of the hole. All right, so taking the old one out, pretty easy. Just a couple screws, disconnect your water line, pull it right back out. The new one goes in pretty much the same way. You're just going to feed all your water lines through the same hole. So underneath, once it's in place, you have these rings here. The washer, the rubber washer, goes toward the top. The second one's going to be a little metal washer. And then the third one, like we took off last time, is the ring that threads on. And then once you're close, you tighten these set screws right here, and that's what really puts force on it to keep it from moving, okay? So we're going to do that. All right, we're going to start by just feeding everything back through the hole. And go ahead and orientate everything the way you want it. If you want, you can basically put the handle on either side, depending on what you're most comfortable with, and just make sure it's positioned straight. And then the best bet is to have somebody else hold it from the top, so that way it's not set like sideways or something when you get out from under the cabinet. So hold it in position there, and go ahead and go below and put your washers in. All right, so here we are below. Put your rubber washer and your metal washer over this. Again, it does get a little tight on some of these spots here, so you're going to have to just kind of force it through. Actually, the nice thing about these washers is they're open on one side, so you just have to put the rubber one over, and then you can slip these other ones right over it. Bring that right up. The last step here is put the metal ring with the screws down, and then thread that up as high as you can. Again, this is the part where it helps to have somebody up top holding the faucet in place. When you're just about there, not quite, go ahead and take a Phillips head screwdriver and put pressure on both sides evenly. You're going to want to torque this down pretty good so that there's no play in that faucet. And if you ever do get play, this is the part that you'd want to go back and just tighten that up. So that is that. So the spray hose has a little marker on it right here. And what you do is you're going to put this weight back on it. You're basically going to just take the 2 screws. You're going to sandwich around that. And that's what brings that spray head back into position because of this weight. So that's an important step. So if you do end up having to change out a shutoff valve, which I highly recommend it, because if you ever have to service just that part of the RV, you could just shut it off and not have to turn the entire water off. You have 2 options. You can either carry a PEX crimping set and cutter, which you're going to want the cutter anyway to cut the PEX tubing, And then this is a PEX style crimp-on fitting, which slides into the PEX tubing and then has a crimp ring, which is crimped by these crimpers. The other option is carry something like a Shark Bite brand or any similar brand slip-on fitting, which basically just slips on, you tug a little bit, and then you've made your connections. These are great as well. Obviously, a lot of professionals in the industry are not going to recommend these because it's taking work from them. As long as you put these somewhere where you can visibly inspect them for leaks in the future, I think these work fantastic, and this is the way I'm going to go. But again, having PEX around is a good option too. So we're going to use the Shark Bite today. All right, so with the PEX tubing here, we're just going to cut this off. We have plenty of slack, so we're going to make a nice flush, clean cut. These are the best method for this, but there's certainly other ways. You can cut it with a razor as long as it's nice and flat. We're going to take this Shark Bite, take a little trim ring off, line up the inside, push it on, give it a little tug, and then put your trim ring back on, just like that. Makes a nice connection. We don't need this compression nut here. We're going to thread right onto this. And this is just a nice quarter turn on and off. So if it's toward the direction of the water flow, that's on. If it crosses it, it's off. And we're just going to thread on our faucet here. Just snug it up pretty good, but you don't want to over tighten it. Just like that, we've made our water line connection. So super easy. Do that on the hot one as well, and we're done. All right, guys, so that was pretty easy. If we're not filming, this was probably about half an hour job and just some very basic tools. Again, the hardest part, I think, is changing out the supply line, shut-off valves. Just have those ready in case you do run into that. This is a great upgrade for us. This is going to be a residential style. It's got the nice wand here. It's a really nice looking unit, and I think it's a nice upgrade to any RV. And now you know you can put a residential faucet into your RV, and hopefully this helped you guys out. Leave us a like, subscribe, share it with another RVer, maybe in a group, and we'll see you guys out there on the road.